I've got to replace this cracked lamp, and that's the new one there, which is going to go in its place. Now at the back of the light, that all has to be disconnected, so I've just taken the bulb housings out there, and then it looks like these brown clip has got to come off, and there's another one down there, so that's got to come away completely and then reconnect when the new lamp is in place. So these are some of the tools I'm going to need. That one is useful for prying out the clips on some of the bumper connectors have clips, so those can be used for prying things out. Then the Allen key is necessary because there are certain screws which take an Allen key fitting as well, so that's another thing. And then of course a normal screwdriver and spanner. So they're the main tools which are going to be needed for this job. Right, I've now prized these clips off, so the wiring is now clear of the rest of the unit. So now I've got to unscrew these individual nuts on here. So the correct size spanner for this is actually an 8mm spanner, which will actually unscrew these nuts here, so they've got to come out one by one. There's one just there. It's coming loose. That one's off. Oh. And there's another one right down there. It's a bit more awkward to get to. Right. Let's see if we can just... It's coming off. So I'll just... that one off. That's off. So they're all off. That part of it is done. Just undoing this one. Obviously, when it's tight, use the Allen key, and then you can just, when it's loose, you can just unscrew it by hand. So there's one there, and there's another one on this side. Same thing. So it's coming loose. Just it, so it should be coming loose a bit more. There, that's coming out. So now got those out. Now there's actually some clips down underneath. Let's have a look where these are. Yeah, there's a clip there, just there where my finger is. That one is actually loose, so that should have been clipped in, but it looks like the clip on that one's missing, and then there'll be another one just there. Now that's the type of clip. It's a plastic clip, and when you prise these out, you've got to be careful not to break them, because if you prise it out without being too careful, it will probably snap, and then you've got to get some new ones. But luckily this one came out completely intact, so that can just slot back in when the job is complete. And now I've got to remove the bumper clips at the side of each side of the bumper. So there's actually a screw there, a screw there. There might have been one there, but it's now a hole, and there's actually one up here as well. So it's going to be 3 screws there, and probably 3 on the other side as well. Right, I've got those 2 screws, 2 bolts, the nuts off now, so this plastic unit should just pull out, hopefully. Let's see if we can, there we go. You can see the bulbs there. So that's the old one which was damaged, and this is the new one to go into that same space. So I'm just going to put the camera down and fit that in. Okay, that one is now fitted in like that, and it's just got to have those bolts, the 3 bolts there to go on there to tighten it up nice and tight before putting the bulbs back into their positions there. So I'll just get that done now. So there we are, those 3 bolts are now screwed back into place to keep that unit nice and tight, and then I've got 2 more to go on just here, 1 there and 1 there. Now that's all tightened up, those 2 bolts are tightened, and the ones inside the housing are tightened, and it's coming out pretty flush. That looks alright. That looks alright. So it looks like the bumper is ready to go back on now. So just make sure the bumper is all in place properly, and then you just put the screws back in. So that one's to go in, and another one just here to go in. Obviously all these will be tightened up in a minute. And then of course there's 3 screws to go in, 1 there, 1 there, and 1 there on each side of the bumper, just by the wheel, the back wheel. So I'll just put those in now. So now the clips and the bulbs need to be put back in place. Now there's an awkward clip right down there that has to, let's see, that has to go on there. That's it, that's on. And then the bulbs, one goes and there. It's got to get in exactly right. That's it, that's in nice and tight. You just turn it, you get it lined up into the socket. Has to be lined up properly. Hang on, that's a bit fiddly, that. No, still not got in. Right, they're all in place now. It was a bit fiddly. You've got to position it exactly right so it goes into that socket, and then you just twist it about a quarter of a turn and it just locks into place there. So the bulbs are now connected. I'll just have to test the lights now. Right, well, that's with the side light on, the side lights, and I can see the bulb is actually shining. It might be hard to see with the sunlight, but the bulb is actually on. So when I turn the lights, side lights off, that bulb will go out again. So there, I've just turned the side lights off, and the bulb has gone out. So that, at least that one is working. I've got to test the others. The indicator needs testing. I'll do that one next. Right, so the left indicator is on. Clearly see that's flashing. I'll just check it's flashing at the front as well. Yep, that's flashing at the front, that's no problem. So we'll just take that one off. So now I'm going to test the lights, the brake light, and see if the brake light and maybe the reverse light are working.